Hi, everybody. It's Linda G, and I'm here with Mel. Monday morning. If you hear some sawing and pounding, they're still working on that shed, and it's been raining out here pretty good.
It's been raining here too. It's warmer here
Yeah,
in the 40s today.
at least a little rain happened in LA. So, him and I went to go check the questions you sent. I had hundreds of posts because it's not under community anymore. It's under posts. I got hundreds of posts with people I don't even know making comments. And then I was like, well, where's the flag that I was going to be on with you where people ask questions? I need to find what happened with that. And probably the post with the membership is where you guys will get the dates for my 3 card and my pick a card because I posted that yesterday. But anyway, I found it says basically the post that I put up and it because it was pages of stuff and it's like I don't even know who these people are. I have no idea. It's almost like anybody can make a comment. Well, I put subscribers on there,
Right.
but uh, but I did find this. So you guys, you might have trouble finding things. I need to get a hold of YouTube and tell them what.
That's what happened to me. I was going on community and I couldn't find it and I went to post. But when I went on your post page, it was like thinking, this isn't Linda. And I had to scroll down like where you posted today's show
Yeah.
2 days ago. And I could that's why I sent you the text this morning. I couldn't find it. I finally found it, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I'll have to contact YouTube and ask them how can we define this so I can easily get,
Well, they
they
checked.
only allow you to say only subscribers. They don't say, no, I don't want anybody in their neighbor posting on the page.
Right. They also changed their layout. Like when I'm from my laptop, if I click on YouTube, I used to get 3 pages on my homepage of things I could watch. Now it's only one, and you got to scroll down to shorts and this and that, blah blah blah. They changed that. The other thing I want to touch on too is somebody sent me a message as to she liked watching the shows, but she couldn't because she was disgusted with the ads that they were putting up. And I responded, we have no control over the ads
None,
put up. Zero. We cannot,
none.
we have no
That's how
control.
YouTube makes their money, you guys. There's
Right,
also YouTube Red or something, which if I paid into, it's like $14 a month.
right,
But I can watch any show with no commercials.
right. Me too. The other thing is my last video I did with you, they limited my monetization because I used a word they said was offensive. But basically, it was a derogatory term toward gay people that I had been called when I was beat up. And I just said, with this bullying going on, that unfortunately we're going to see a rise in this sort of behavior. And that troubled me. And it was on Holocaust Memorial Day.
Yeah,
And now we're starting to get censored, so we have to be careful of certain words that we use. It wasn't,
yeah,
I didn't mean it derogatory, it was what people had called me. I
yeah,
find it amazing that they allow some of these videos up where people like Trump can vilify other people, but yet when we talk about the impact it had on us and we use this a derogatory term that we were called, we get censored. I find a problem with that.
yeah. Wow.
But having said
Just
all
be
that,
careful, read the rules.
well, I did, and they say they don't list everything,
Oh,
and they can just willy-nilly decide what they decide is not suitable for their community standards. That's what I found out. I did a lot of research on it. So,
okay. So
uh,
I talked to Revealing Light
oh,
this
good.
morning. I sent her an email because I was showing her that Japan NICU dropped over 1,000 points last night. And I told her, I said, now it begins. And then this morning, the Dow Jones dropped about almost 700 points right away, which we knew was going to happen. And I told her in that email, oh, he's gonna go back. He's gonna because he doesn't like him looking like it, horrible. Because he
He's
said there's nothing that can stop these tariffs. But
Well,
there is, the stock market can stop them. Now it's
when
still going to decline, but in fact, Ford in Canada just canceled $100 million contract he had with Elon Musk.
and Ontario canceled a contract they had for Starlink.
Oh,
And
so more than just, I just said Ford canceled it in Canada.
I
Is that
know,
the same thing?
no, because Ontario, the province of Ontario had signed, I think, a contract with Elon Musk for Starlink to
That's
bring,
Ford. Yeah, it's the same thing. It
oh, it
was a
was,
$100 million contract.
yeah, they okay, good. Well, they're like, no. And now Trudeau said, hit us with your best shot because we'll put a 25% tariff on you. And
They're
Canadian,
already starting, and they were just showing pictures of the liquor stores in
yes,
Canada, no American product. And also, he talked to the Mexican president, and they're going to work. They're going to look at things. He's got his people going in to talk to her. What he failed to mention to everybody is that he agreed he would stop guns from coming into Mexico. That's the thing she wants. But he didn't say a word about it to the public. But she said it. He agreed that he would start trying to stop guns from coming in. Because, the NRA wants them to still come in.
well, he's trying to destabilize these countries economically. My guides tell me so he can put his own cronies in there, but that's not going to
It's
work.
not going to happen.
You know what's going to happen? The stock market's going to continue to take these huge,
Just slow, yeah. Because remember, I said it wasn't going to be as bad as 2008.
right,
But
right.
already, I'm going to tell you, especially with the housing market and stuff and all these people getting laid off, he's got trouble coming up.
Stock prices are going to go down, they'll fluctuate. I see a huge hit coming to the stock market. Psychically, I predict obviously high prices, bad economy. Doesn't take a psychic to figure that out. But we're going to see higher gas prices, lumber prices, which is going to have effect on the building industry. I took notes here.
Yeah.
Um, Clothing, produce, liquor, uh,
Shoes, China. China's
auto,
hitting us right now.
auto parts, plastics, textiles, computer chips, a lot of the goods we use. And first of all, he said that he was going to bring down prices when he was running, but now he says he's declaring an economic emergency, and that's why he's doing this. What emergency?
What emergency?
There is no
Gas
emergency.
prices are already starting to go up.
Well, he blamed immigration and drugs for doing these tariffs, and that's such a crock.
Yeah.
Uh, what will happen, I predict my guides tell me, is like countries like Canada, the ultra right was becoming stronger there, but it tells me that Canadians are going to band together against Trump and it can very well strengthen their democracy and keep the far right out because it'll be like, look what happened in America. We're not going to let it happen here. And I think
Right,
this,
but I don't, but yeah, it could change the people's mind because there was a good chance the far right would win.
right.
But if they do win, they might not be ugly as the Trump
Oh,
administration.
they'll try to get ugly, trust me.
Oh, they will? Okay.
Just like Elon Musk, giving the certain salute and a wink and a nod to the far right German party, telling them to forget certain parts of the Third Reich and what happened and to move forward. I can't say that word, but we get it. And in Germany, they were gaining strength. But you said they won't win, and I don't feel they will either, the ultra far right. So good.
Yeah, well, some psychics are saying they will win, but I think a lot of this, sure, this Trump stuff is turning people off.
Well, if they win, I fear what's going to happen to Germany. But my feeling is, that certain people will try to interfere. Russia will try to interfere. Certain millionaires will try to interfere, billionaires. But I see, a lot coming out to keep that election interference from happening.
Well, Germany will
Well,
stay. He's not going to be able to affect Germany.
they're
What he
trying.
said, was it you that he said they were able to give all kinds of money? Germany passed a law that foreigners can't be given a bunch of money.
I read about it today that he gave, I think it was 2 million euros. Uh,
Yeah, apparently because of the money he gave, they put a law that he can't do that anymore.
It was 5 million euros for the far right alternative for Germany. And there's a woman there, I think her name is Weisel or Vi something. I might have her name wrong. Um, but she is meeting with Canadian Prime Minister, and they're forming some kind of coalition to start getting oil and stuff from Russia again. She's a candidate, but
She's not going to win.
I don't think so either. My feeling is that I don't see the ultra far right taking hold in Germany again.
So Muskrat is, oh, listen, somebody posted the people that 19-year-olds that are in our treasury interfering with getting all the information on all our monies. They posted their names, and Elon said that's illegal. No, I think it's more illegal for you to go in and take information that doesn't belong to you.
And what the other thing they're doing is they're creating all this chaos over here so they can push through things over here so nobody will say anything.
Right.
That's what's going on. Like firing FBI agents that worked on investigating the insurrection.
Oh, there's a bunch of lawsuits coming up on that.
Oh, huge.
There's going to be huge stuff, you guys.
Well, the thing that made him so puffy, Donald Trump, is that he thinks that because the Supreme Court had that rule,
That
that
he's about ready to find out.
he's about ready to find out that he's not as immune as he thinks he is.
So people are asking what's going to happen to Social Security, Medicare, and VA. I can tell you right now that my friend who's on disability VA, that he fought for years, they have put him on notice that he can make up to a certain amount of money. And after that, they take a dollar each, dollar to dollar. I don't know how it is, but they're going to cut his disability.
Well, that money's already been appropriated, so let's see how far that goes, because that's going to be tied up in the court. The courts are going to be so busy with all of his King Donald things and
Well,
King E.
listen, the Social Security part is really where people, well, you saw what happened when they said, we're going to stop Medicare, we're going to stop. And you saw that that got changed in a moment's notice.
Well, they backpedaled, but they still they're like Doge, that thing that Elon Musk has head of. They're doing away with U.S. aid. They closed the offices, and what that's going to do, my guides tell me very
Okay.
strongly, it's going to give power to China. It's going to give power to even Russia if they decide to do it, and other countries to go in and say, "Oh, we'll send you aid." And those countries that are getting that aid would affiliate with those powers. Us sending those countries aid actually protected us. And Trump is taking away all of that.
Well, he wants the money.
Well, a third world country, think about it. If you're depending on the aid, you're going to side with that country that's giving you the aid. So now if
Right.
they get from China and Russia and other places, they're going to side with that country because they're getting, if you're hungry and starving, you're going to side with the people who's feeding you.
Well, a lot of people are going to die. Blood
Yeah,
will be on his hands.
there's going to be mass starvation. And you know what, Linda? My light bulb went on this morning, and I see him, and I've said it before, him, Musk, and a bunch of other cronies being in the World International Court being charged with crimes against humanity because
Oh,
of
I
that.
love it.
Yep, I see that coming. You
Well,
mark.
Netanyahu's coming tomorrow to the United States, and I wish somebody would go in there and arrest him. He's won it for crimes against humanity.
Yes, and that's the same thing that's going to happen to Trump and Musk and a bunch of them. Elon Musk grew up in South Africa, and he might be too young to remember apartheid, but his parents were probably, it was apartheid was this group of white people controlling all the blacks, and it was horrible. And it's obvious that he is so apartheid. He's a white supremacist. That's pretty obvious.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So anyway.
Um, what Karen wants to know when the reign of this Trump presidency will end. I see it totally weaken, especially by the time the midterms come. I see crystal blue.
Well, I think the new head of the Democratic National Party, or the Democratic chair, whatever he is, he's going to be really mouthy and outspoken. Good.
Good.
I see somebody else coming more mouthy than he is. I think by the midterms,
Yeah.
this reign of terror will stop.
Yeah, but see, they think they can touch Social Security and Medicaid and all
Yeah.
that. The American people, most of the people are the poorest states that need this. If he starts cutting them off on that, that's when his people turn against him.
Well, I got news for you. The people in those poorer states that voted for him because they drank the Kool-Aid, when they
Yeah.
start paying more for all of those things that my guides told me we're going to pay more for, they're going to be up in arms like, what happened? And he,
Yeah. Gas prices are already up.
oh yeah,
Eggs are still expensive.
and he can only blame other people for X amount of time.
Yeah.
I think that Americans should not boycott Canadian products, but they should boycott those grocery stores that are price gouging so high.
Yeah. A lot
And
of them already up their prices just on the whim.
correct,
That's how they roll, especially with COVID.
right.
Look, we need to make money off of this.
So if you can, go to farmers markets, buy directly from the farmer if you can. You
Yeah.
know, research the products you're buying. Did they support Musk or Trump or those people? And if they did, very simple, try an alternative product.
Right. So uh Suzette said, what will happen to the four-star General Mark Miley?
Well, they'll
He
try to,
got his security detail removed. And listen, Elon and Trump, they're not going to get intel from the highest realm. The other nations are cutting them off.
with Miley, I think are they will demote him a star and try to take away a security clearance. But behind closed doors, there's going to be a group of generals that are still going to talk to each other. Miley will be informed, and he's going to do a lot behind closed doors to stump Trump. How's that?
There you go. I see the FBI. Now, do you see the FBI totally being blown up or what,
Yes.
I saw a huge line of people in a courthouse getting ready to sue him for this stuff.
Yes, because he's letting go those FBI agents that worked on the January 6th insurrection, and it's illegal, and there's going to be so many
Right,
lawsuits.
because it not only is it illegal, he's trying to take it off the face of the earth. He's trying
Correct.
to act like it never happened.
And it makes it worse. People talk about it more, and
Yeah.
that's more harm to him. You know, he's destroying himself. But I see that uh, at some point, those FBI people that he fired, the DEI people, and all that, they're going to have their jobs reinstated with full retroactive salaries. That's what I see coming.
Oh, that's what happened before when he fired that one FBI agent who was just like a month away from retiring. He did it just to be mean. So he couldn't get his pension. Oh, that guy won and plus some.
Um, Somebody says here, Amy, Trump is openly breaking law after law. Why isn't the CIA, FBI, NATO, or anyone arresting and charging him? Well, the answer is because there's this rule that you can't charge or you can't arrest a sitting president. It's not a law. It's just a procedural rule. But at some
Unless he's up for treason.
but some point, I see them saying, wait a minute, if he's doing this flagrant and egregious middle finger to the Constitution, it's a high crime. Future presidents can be arrested. My light bulb went on, and I'm thinking there are certain justices on the Supreme Court that said the president could have this full immunity. They are really sorry they did that.
I feel that too. And also, there's something he's doing that Kavanaugh wrote something about before he was on the Supreme Court. Justice Roberts wrote something about it. They said you can't do that. You can't take away the purse from Congress.
Right. You
And
can't.
they're not speaking up.
Well, they
Republicans
can't.
aren't speaking up. So what's going to happen is we're going to have people come in there wearing the blue and they're going to obliterate and say it's unconstitutional and get your hands off because we allocated that money and he's just taking it.
And there will be a few Republicans behind the scenes that will support those Democrats, but they need to grow a set because nobody wants to to mess with
But
Trump.
let me tell you, at the rate he's going, those people can't be safe because their own people aren't going to vote him back in.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, um, all right. You got a question there?
Yeah, what's going to happen with the Department of Education?
Well, he's going to try to cut funding down to nothing, but here again, that's going to get tied up in court, and they're going to say those funds have been appropriated. You cannot do that.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I feel bad for the Head Start and for the hot lunches and those programs. I mean, it's across the boards.
He's just, let's take away lunches from children. I mean, what the hell sense does that make?
Let's say that women cannot have a right to their body. They talk about right to life, but they're really pro birth. But once that child is born to somebody who's poor, oh, let them eat cake, right?
Yeah,
You're not going to feed them. You're not going to give the mother the care she needs. Not all of these kids can be adopted out. So who's going to take care of these kids because you're cutting the funds to take care of them? That is going to all be called to the forefront as well. And
yeah.
uh,
As far as how long he's going to last, and some psychics are saying 4 years, I'm seeing that he's a nothing burger after the midterms.
I'm saying that
Maybe he's still in office, but he's a nothing burger.
I don't even feel him in office, and my light bulb goes on and says there's another impeachment. Now, whether or not they remove him from office, I don't know. But still, his health, when I see him,
It's
I
his health, yeah.
I always see those dark clouds around his head area. His
And
health.
this mess with the FBI, what he's doing is he's opening up the ability for Israel, not Israel, Iran to come in and hit us. And China kind of likes this too.
They all like it because it's destabilizing our country, and that's what they want. If they can weaken us, then it gives them recourse to gain world power.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just did a monthly Costco run in Alaska. I've never seen such a somber group of seemingly stressed people. A woman was freaking out over $7 increase on her frozen orange juice. Several people were visibly upset about all the job losses and price increases. I stayed quiet. America, let the games begin. Yeah, and let me tell you, Canada's not messing. Uh,
No, not at
Trudeau
all.
said, don't buy American products, don't vacation. And you know what? I see them not buying American products and not vacationing here.
Going to kill the travel industry. And then what's going to happen is those states like Hawaii that depend on tourism is going to really impact them.
But
Uh,
even Americans, because it's going to hit the pocketbook of every American, they're not going to be able to afford vacation.
they're saying that each household is going to increase this inflation, these higher prices, at least by I think they said 16 or 1700 a year. I see it more actually.
Okay.
I still see travel, but I don't know.
Well, gas is going to be so high.
Oh, I mean, right. And people are just going to, I see my guides show me people protesting in the street, people like just boycotting grocery stores, thinking about closing. But, ooh, um, I just don't see him making it 4 years in office. I just don't.
Yeah, I just see too much. I think Musk will be out first.
Absolutely. Because I see a huge falling out between Musk and
Well,
Cheetah.
he'll blame Musk on something.
Course. He will. Everything. He'll blame Musk for everything. But Elon Musk will come out and say, no, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Will those who went after the January 6th committees ever face justice? Jordan, Coney, Green, etc.
I hear a yes to that.
Okay.
I have one. Chris says, do you see the orange Caligula? Uh, she's a Roman emperor known for his cruelty and madness. Yes, I think we know who Caligula is. Actually, it means little boots in Latin. Do you see the orange Caligula messing with the VA disability for veterans?
Yes,
And
he already is.
he already is. And do you see Musk being removed from the Treasury and everything else? Yes, he will
Oh,
be.
you do? Well, what do you see when you look at that?
I see him removed because of falling out with Trump. And when Elon Musk said Americans are just going to have to tighten their belts, I'm like, wait a minute. He's not in charge and he's not the king and he's not the president. So ultimately see him removed from the Treasury.
Let me take a look at it.
And I want to tell you something. I see at some point him under indictment.
You see what?
Elon Musk under indictment at some point.
Oh, yeah, he's already in trouble other places.
But I see him removed from Doge.
That's why they said if Trump hadn't won, Elon and Trump would both be facing jail.
Right.
Elon was already in trouble. It's a difficult road. Yeah, it'll be an ending for Elon. Judgment is before him. He's trying to get us steal money is what he's going to do.
Well, that's why they were doing all that crypto stuff because
And they even took from the Lutheran Church.
oh yeah, they bought it all. They bought all that crypto that because of supply and demand that made the prices go up. And then what they did is they sold it back into the market at the higher price and it crashed the market. They just dumped it all back in the market with no repercussions, no nothing because crypto is not regulated.
So there might even be some sort of police or military action against them. And
I
this is them having to walk away. He serves the demon.
I see Elon Musk losing his entire fortune at some point.
Yeah, well, they're gonna, and I see a different country really taking him on.
Right. Oh yeah, at least three.
But
I see
but
tribunals.
when do you see? Okay, is it going to cause trouble? Oh, he's telling those people who revealed who those kids are that are sleeping in the Treasury offices on
Right.
cots, so they can be in charge. When they announced their names, he said that's illegal. No, it's not. Well, take me to court. Let's go before a judge.
Right.
Let's talk about it. So what's going to happen? Um, duties kept quiet. Worldwide Earth. Explosive situation. So this will blow up in his face.
Uh, Definitely. You know, I pulled a card on him and I got the death card,
Mhm.
which means all this change he's going to
All
be
this stuff is going to it's going
gonna
to take a while for us to work it back in.
right. And I'm worried um, that I see a constitutional crisis coming because, and that's what Trump wants. Constitutional crisis is when two parties or two or three elements of the government disagree and they're not following the Constitution and they're stuck. Nobody can do anything. Nobody's doing anything because they can't.
I
That
see the Supreme Court actually voting against Trump a couple of times.
I do too. I do too. Now he might try to put more justices on the court, um, but some of them that he wanted to put on there, I don't think will ever get put in.
Yeah.
And
So
I with if this Patel gets to be head of the FBI, he's going to go after so many people that went after Trump. There's going to be an outcry against that.
well, do you see him getting in then, Patel?
If he does get in, I feel like he will. I pray that he doesn't.
I know.
He won't last long at all.
Okay.
Not at
I
all.
don't see RFK or that other girl getting in.
There's going to be a lot that comes out against Patel and a lot that comes out more that comes out about RFK because they're backpedaling now. And so
So, um, do you think any of those airplane crashes were sabotage?
I don't think the helicopter American one was. I mean, Trump is
I think
blaming
it was an honest to God accident.
it was. Trump is blaming the controllers because he's trying to say that, what he's trying to say is that any controller that was hired because of diversity, equality, and inclusiveness, like if they're not white, that then they're not as good. That's what he's really saying without saying it. Um, For him to blame the controller, I don't know who he's blamed, but I know who he will blame, the controllers, is wrong. That military helicopter was at the wrong place where it should not have been,
Yeah.
and it had the wrong visual. Yes, we see the aircraft, but that was a different airplane. It wasn't the one it was that
Because
who's
once they said, once he told a command that he had his eyes on the craft, then command was no longer in charge.
right, right.
But he
But he
didn't, he was looking at the wrong craft.
was at the wrong aircraft, and he flew right into it.
Right.
That American Airlines was on the right glide path for the landing and everything. It was the helicopter that flew into it.
Yeah, and I don't think they even quite knew what happened. I see instant death, which is good.
Fast. My cousin is a professional ice skater, and she knew people that were on that airplane. And it's just really sad in the ice skating world because they were coming back from
You
comp.
know, a bunch of ice skaters died before, like, I think the 1960s in a plane crash.
That's right. That's right. But the skating world is really sad.
And their coaches, they said it took a long time to build it back up.
I went to the rink Friday night, and my cousin and I had dinner with some skaters. I'm going to start skating again just for fun. But if
Don't
you
call me if you fall on your ass.
if you see, but I was just going to say, if you see my arm in a cast, then you'll know what happened. But the skating world, it was sad because one boy, um, his life was saved because his parents were coaches, and he was an only child, but he had competed, but then he had to leave a day early to go to another competition that they wanted him to skate in, and that saved his life.
There's another guy that was supposed to take that flight, but the airlines wouldn't let him on because his dog was too big. So
Dog
he had
safety.
to rent a car and drive. So
I'm good.
his life was saved because of his dog.
Wow. Well, it was sad, but this young man, he has no parents, and so I think
No.
skating world is going to help him out as much as they can.
Do you have another question?
Yes, I do. Uh, will Musk be stopped from stealing information from the Treasury and be prevented from controlling and manipulating paychecks for Social Security and Medicare?
Yeah, well, I almost see like they go to touch it, but they burn their hand
He's
because they're screwing with too many people of the Trumpsters
right.
that will pitch a fit.
Well, a lot of the MAGAs are already pitching a fit.
Yeah.
I pulled a card for Trump and I got the four of clubs, which means illness, a lot of unlucky events. And I pulled one for Elon Musk, which is the ace of spades, which means there's a lot of people going to be against him. Many, many people are going to be
Look
against
what
him.
the card I got for him. Controlled puppet.
Yeah, but who's controlling whom?
Elon.
Right,
Elon paid for his seat.
right. Okay. Oh, this is a good one.
But
All new Maggie. Hi, Maggie. This is really good. Do you think that David Hogg, Hogg, one of the young survivor of Parkland High School shooting and now political activist, will become part of the National Democratic
he
Committee?
is. He's the VP.
Hear yes, yes, yes. He's the co-founder of March for Our Lives, which Gary and
Yeah.
I were
He's a hard worker too.
and Leaders We Deserve, calling for the need to have young blood and serve the Democratic Party. Is he right? Um, he's going to be a huge, huge, huge leader in the Democratic Party,
Yeah.
and at some point, he's going to run for president, way into
Oh,
the
really? Yeah,
way.
because he got VP and
Right.
he's very happy with that. But he's young, and I think he's going to get in there and cause some stuff.
I see
You
him.
know, I do think people like Schumer, Pelosi, they got to go.
I see.
We're going to have the young people coming. AOC.
I see Hogg elected to the Senate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old he is. He's young yet, but still, I see him as a senator. I think you have to be 35 to be president, but he's gonna. The young people will save this country.
They sure will. They sure will. It's going to take some work to reverse what Trump did, but it's so underhanded and ugly. It's just so underhanded. And they're going to have, the United States is going to be in debt because we have to pay all these people that got fired under illegal circumstances.
Well, I pulled the eight of clubs again, or the eight of clubs, which mean with Trump and his regime, there's going to be a lot of calamities. People are going to be protesting. It means disharmony, discord. Um, Trump, he's going to create a lot of calamities, but he himself is going to have to face the repercussions of that and his
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
So,
And boy, he has no problem going out and golfing,
oh,
just like he did before.
he can limit US aid and let people starve, not do anything, put all these tariffs on because for some reason they're not doing his bidding, so he'll tariff them. He does not care about the American people or his
Now,
constituents. It's like
he
it keeps
doesn't care about the aid that helps children from dying. He doesn't care.
he doesn't care.
But
And
see, that's not the collective consciousness. That's not the higher consciousness. John F. Kennedy started that program.
uh and I see at some point um a lot sooner than later that again everything he's doing is going to come back to roost on him.
Yeah.
Um
Uh, Anush said, if I didn't know better, it seems like the end of times, and I totally understand what you're feeling, but this is a shakeup that will make us stronger. But I also see some natural disasters that are going to take place that Trump's sitting there holding his golf thing and he can't do anything
And
about.
he's going to try to defund FEMA. And when those huge natural disasters take place, you're right. He's going to be holding his golf.
Well, people like Louisiana and Kentucky and stuff, they won't have the money for
Correct.
tornadoes or, but our own states like California, Chicago, they'll be able to get some, as it is with those fires. A lot of people who are very rich in California are getting their money together to help, but they're not looking at Washington, unfortunately. But it's not the end of
Well,
times, you guys.
no, it's not. I don't think so either. Um, Gloria says, will the Palestinian people be able to go back to Gaza?
Well, the what?
Will the Palestinian people be
They
able to
already
go
are
back to?
going back to Gaza.
No, she's not talking about the Israelis. She's talking about the Palestinians that
No,
live
the
there.
Palestinians are already going back to Gaza in the
Okay.
rubble. And they were showing film of it. Tons of Palestinians are going through the rubble and trying to get back to their homeland. And that's one of the reasons Netanyahu is meeting with Trump. May I have permission to wipe them out? They're going to, if anybody in the United States is pro-Palestine, they're in trouble.
Oh, I know.
So what I see is Trump and his people and Netanyahu will be building buildings, big hotels in Gaza. I see building taking place. And then Netanyahu is going to be taken out. And I see a lot of things happening where they'll say, you couldn't do that to the Palestinians. And the Palestinians will come in and take over those buildings. Israel's in trouble.
Um, let's see. Okay. Somebody asked a really good question, and I was looking up Article 5 of NATO. That's what I was doing. Dakota Kelt. Hi, Dakota. How are you? Due to Elon Musk causing issues in Europe, due to X and Starlink, is it possible that NATO may enact Article 5? Article 5 would be like um, that they can stand up against a country that's doing harm to other NATO countries. And Dakota, I hear a yes to that at some
Yeah,
point.
that feels right to me.
Yeah, I got cold chills.
Well, we see his falling. And if he gets in a lot of trouble, Trump can only stand up for him for so long.
Okay. Somebody wants to know. Oh, go ahead. You have a question. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Give me the question.
Uh, uh, Carrick says, will they be successful in removing the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, that protects your investments in your bank account up to 100 or $200,000
Wasn't Roosevelt the one who started that?
after the Depression, so that people didn't lose money. Yep.
Yeah. I see an attempt, but I don't know if it'll go. I see lawsuits again.
They will try, but it's going to get tied up in the courts.
Yeah. Somebody said, can you guys please give us a definitive answer
On
if
what?
T will be in for all 4 years? I don't feel it. I know other psychics said yes.
I don't see it. I see for 2 years. And if he does stay all 4 years, which I'm being shown that he will not, I could be wrong, but the Dems will take back over the House and the Senate, and then he'd end up being lame duck.
Yeah.
But here's a good question. Robert, this is a really, really good question. Well, they're all good questions, but do you see martial law coming soon? Because I've got a funny feeling my guides are showing me he might try to declare martial law.
There was a bunch of marches in LA where they stopped Highway 101, but they weren't violent at all.
Well, if he tries to declare martial law, then that's going to put this country probably on the brink of a civil war.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is he's got to piss off his people.
Yes.
When they can't feed their kids and they have absolutely nothing for health care,
And
when
they can't
children are
afford,
dying, they're going to get very upset
and
with it.
they can't afford to buy a house because the building costs are going to go so high.
Yeah,
Or they can't afford to remodel the one they're living in, and landlords are price gouging and all of that stuff. People are going to, economics gets a lot of people elected,
right.
and a lot of people thrown out. And so people are going to, I'm telling you, you're right. A lot of the people that voted for him will be like, what? No, we're tired of, eating macaroni and cheese.
Well, my guides told me his people need to see who he really is. He could care less about Joe Blow on the streets.
He doesn't care about
He even
any,
talked about his people behind closed doors and said, oh, they're terrible. Remember when he asked for people to march on his behalf when he
right,
was in New York for being sued? And a bunch, about maybe 15 people showed up at Mar-a-Lago with the flags, and they wouldn't even let them use their bathrooms.
right, right. You know, he doesn't care about his constituents. He doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care about abortion or gay rights. He
No,
just uses it to pander to the ultra right because he knows he's got them controlled. The only thing he wants to do is line his pockets, period.
period.
That's it. Line his own pockets and stay in power.
But in the meantime, that Mike Johnson, what a
Oh,
dog. He's just letting them run right through them, even though Congress is in charge of Let me tell you something. As soon as Johnson's out of there and the Democrats take over, he will no longer have that ability. As it is, there's a whole bunch of lawsuits happening now.
and he calls himself a Christian. I wrote a letter to the Pope. I posted it on my
Yeah,
community.
you showed me.
And I had somebody actually say to me, in the comments, uh, well, as a Christian, who do you think should be president? And I said, not the one who's engaging in massive deportations, talking about putting people in concentration camps, lying, limiting LGBTQ plus rights. And I went on and on and on. And um, and she said, my question was simple. You didn't answer it. And I said, yes, I did. Not the one in office now. And she
Yeah.
kept on about this Trump stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I just said to her, I will not debate this with you. It's not open for debate. Uh, and she kept on, and I just deleted her from my channel. I don't want that kind of, she was looking for the argument, and I wouldn't give it to her.
Yeah. So
And,
how
and
about somebody with decency? How about somebody that's Christ-like?
correct. How about somebody who spreads love and equality? That's what
Yeah.
I said, as a Christian, that's what that's what Christianity is about, is spreading love and helping and caring and kindness and diversity and accepting everyone. She didn't like it.
Oh, I actually watched the Grammys last night. I taped it and then I so I could fast forward because these young kids now with this rap and stuff, I don't get it. But anyway, so there were so many wonderful speeches. Who somebody was up there. Oh, Lady Gaga.
I
And
like her.
she said, trans people are not invisible.
Thank you.
She got big time clap. And then there was a whole, somebody won a big award, Alicia Keys. And she was talking about, immigrants are fiber of who we are. And she talked about gay rights. And she was like, this is America. We show compassion. She was really good. Nobody said his name,
Mm-mm.
but everybody was like totally pro.
And you know what? That's how it's going to continue. That movement's going to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah,
Wow. Somebody asked, any more plane crashes coming soon? I do see one more,
I
unfortunately.
do see another one. Yeah. I
Uh,
see it towards the north. So I don't know if that's in Canada or northern part of the United States.
I think it's in the States.
Okay. There
That,
was a fire.
that's why we need airline safety. That's why we need the National Transportation Safety Board. That's why we need the Federal Aviation Administration to inspect these planes and make sure they're safe.
Right, right.
Trump doesn't care
Well, the
about.
thing is, if he starts firing these people in the towers, you're going to shut down airports.
Oh yeah. I will
And
bet you
how's the airlines going to like that?
they're not. I will bet you his planes gets inspected. Well, Air Force One, but when he wasn't president, I'll bet the plane that he rented with his name on it was inspected more than Carter's Got Pills, you know?
Right, right.
Um, any more earthquakes in near Maine? I see one, but it's not much to mention, maybe three or something.
Yeah, there's some earthquakes coming to California. I keep feeling it getting ready to happen. I can tell. I start feeling it, but my ears aren't ringing yet.
Um, um, okay. Do you have any more questions, Linda?
No.
All right. Some people are asking if the recent air crash disasters were deliberate. We answered that. No, I don't think. I just think that, we need, well, he lays off air traffic controllers. You're right, Linda. It's not going to be good.
It's going to be bad.
Um, okay, so Frida said things have gotten very dire. Well, and he's going to try to get us by with as much as he can, Frida. But she asked, will NATO step in and pull 45 out of office and arrest Musk? They can't. They don't have the authority to
Yeah.
do.
And let me tell you something. He didn't win. I can tell you that. And all kinds of proof is coming out that he, in fact, Elon help steal this election for him. They were desperate. He was going to go to jail and Elon too.
Well, that I pulled another card for him when you were talking. I got the four of spades. So it means, he thinks that he's got all these people that are his friends, but actually it's the symbol of the open eye. So what that means is they're going to be looking at him with great suspicion and pulling away from him.
But just now when you were talking, I asked these cards, my prediction cards, are we going to be okay? Look what it says.
Good.
Good outcome.
We've got a lot to go through.
Yeah.
A lot of stormy weather coming. But, this country will divorce itself from him. Just
Yeah.
like the McCarthy era, that horrible time. And it finally took a couple, two or three courageous people to stand up. One said, have you no shame? That's exactly what I see that's going to happen to Trump.
Yeah. He's going down. He's already sick though. That I can see.
I see him
And
facing,
what's with those Oompa Loompa eyebrows that he has? Jesus Christ.
I see him facing, more Senate investigations futuristically. Elon Musk is going to face,
Elon's in trouble.
Senate,
I see him cowering. By the way, I did a whole thing on it and I used these cards. I saw him cowering in the corner. He's going to be chased down.
there's going to be Senate committees, like just like McCarthy had to go through. If Trump is still around, he'll have to go through those. Musk will, and a lot of these people that Trump has put in high-level government positions.
Yeah.
My guides show me it's going to start happening within the next 4 years. So there you go.
Well, my friend, it was wonderful being on with you.
I love it. I love
Are
doing
you
this.
working today at the office?
No, I'm off on Monday. So
Oh,
Monday
okay, good.
is the only thing I do is, well, I'll do this show, then I'll do your show, and then we alternate to my show, and then
Yeah.
every other
So I'll be on your show next Monday.
Monday, and then at every other Monday at night on with Sherry. So
Yeah, I'll be on with Nate. Uh, I don't know if it's tomorrow or the next day. Nate, Nathe. But and then tonight at 3:30 Pacific on SteamYard, I'll be on with Dr. Lena Rodriguez.
tell Lena hello. I
I
love
will. I will.
Sweetie.
It's
Maybe
so funny.
you guys going to be live, or are you going to be?
Bye. Yeah.
Maybe I'll pop in.
I don't do lives that often.
I don't either. Well, I do. I do. But I like being on with Lena. She's incredible.
She's very good. I like her a lot. She's
Love her
funny as
humor.
hell. She's hella funny. And a lot of people I was on with Dr. Jennifer Lisa Vest, who's my sister from another mother, like my Joy. She's a tribal. And people really enjoyed her too.
Yeah, Joy's really cool.
We got some great people here.
Well, I met Joy through you, and
Yeah, she was up at Sedona. That
she
was so great meeting her and her husband. Her husband's really nice too.
her husband's really nice, and she's a wonderful poet and so creative, and I just she just very like you, just grounded and spiritual, and I love
Right.
that.
And you guys,
Hi, Joy.
I'm sorry. I get my Gmail gets so full I can't answer everybody. I try to look for the prayer part so I can move it into the prayer box. But it's just so many people are sending me. Like if something happens, I get about 40 emails based on that one thing.
Mine, mine gets crazy too, and people think that we're purposefully not answering them.
No, it's just because it gets and listen, we're the only ones who can answer. If I
Right,
could hire someone to do it, that'd be
right.
fine. I might eventually not be able to do replies at all.
Well, what I do is like if it's for travel, and by the way, I've got openings on my Peru trip in September, Iceland trip October, get a little plug in, right? Call my office 847-590-5411. But anyway, I will forward some of them to Joan, but a lot of them I just can't get to, or the comments even. And so it's not that
It's
we're
crazy.
ignoring
I'm
you,
so sorry, you guys.
it's just impossible, which I guess
And
is,
thank you guys for because my page is like doing so well.
yeah,
I'm up to 5.2. I went down to 3, now I'm up to 5.2 thousand subscribers a month.
wow. No, not subscribers, you mean members.
Members, subscribers, yeah. No, it's subscribers. It says subscribers.
Yeah. It goes up in
I have 112,393.
subscribers.
Mhm.
I haven't looked, but I know your last. I watched a part of your last video, and it had over 140,000 views, which is a lot. I'm going, you go, girl.
Let's see, Dr. Vest was 60,000. The DOJ FBI purge was 108,000, and the plane crash was 128,000.
That was up
I
there.
have to say what I see. Some people don't see the same thing. It was truly an accident.
It was an accident.
I mean, I would tell you if I thought, remember that Boeing woman when I said those 2 plane crashes with Boeing, I said it was a software issue.
Right.
And she wrote me this email and said, I'll have you know, Missy, you're not a very good psychic. That was a pilot error. I've worked for Boeing for 38 years or something, and I can tell you right now it was software. And then right after that, the FAA announced that that it was a pilot issue. announced it was a software issue.
I remember that.
Mhm.
I remember that projection.
I'll have you know, Missy.
I remember you telling me about that you got that that her contacting you.
Yeah.
Anyway. All
But,
right.
if I saw it was planned or something underhanded, maybe I can't see it, but I don't, especially that one. I
I
don't see that it was
that was not there
deliberate.
was no foul play involved in that. Maybe the cover up and blaming
And then
controls.
they immediately started doing rumors that the pilot was a trans.
Oh, I know. Or that it was DEI,
Yeah, blame
version.
the DEI. That's the reason. Yeah, they'll blame that DEI till the cows come home.
And then it was Biden's fault and Obama's fault because of funding. But then, then he talks about because of the funding, but yet he's cutting funding. It's like, what? Well,
Yeah,
the reason he's saying that he's cutting so many funds is because the last time around, he spent more money and wasted more money than any president in American history.
right. And listen, as the stock market was falling, he talks to the Mexican president, who I
Right.
really like, and they agree to talk again in a month. But he says, "Oh, well, yeah, we're going to work at this." He wanted to announce that to stop the stock market for because it's a bad look on him. Why he didn't know that was going to happen, I have no clue.
Oh,
But then he fails to mention she tells Mexico that he's agreed to look and make sure that the guns stop coming in and given to the bandits in Mexico.
else. But what he is going to take credit for, but then
Mhm.
publicly she's going to come out and say, no, wait a minute. So really, she stood up to him, but he's making it look like it's a win for him.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we're going to wait. Well, then you could see the stock market, but yeah, he'll pull that kind of stuff. But
But
I see the stock market still going down. But remember, I didn't see Armageddon stock issues like we had in 2008.
no, but let's see what happens with Trudeau in Canada as well.
Well, the gas prices are already going up.
Oh, Trudeau's going to be so outspoken. And I think it's probably going to put a Liberal or Labor Party person in charge in Canada when
I hope so because everybody's saying it's going to be the other side.
this is not looking good.
Okay, good, good. Well, let me tell you something. Now, you guys remember this. When they said they were cutting Medicare, Medicaid, this and that, they were even cutting firemen funds, police departments, and everybody went crazy. Well, it was Schumer and all the Democrats are saying our phones are blowing up, our faxes are blowing up. But if you'll notice, the Republicans didn't say anything,
Mm-mm.
but they were blowing up too
Of course.
because the poor people were like, what the heck? So they were probably threatening them, saying, you let them do this, we are going to make sure you're impeached or out of office. That's what I was feeling. So
There,
they quietly went to Trump and said, you're going to have to change this because we're going to lose our place.
there were a lot of Republicans behind the scenes that were totally like in horror and spoke
Yeah,
out. But the Democrats are going to be more mouthy about things.
yeah.
And I like that. It's about time that the Democrats became mouthy and did something.
Yeah, but you guys, there's going to be lawsuits galore. You can't,
Oh,
I see judges staying everything. Everything's going to be put on a stay.
that's going to be the new word in the federal court. Stay, stay, stay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, you guys, love you all.
love you. All right, Linda,
Catch
thank
you
you.
again.
Next
Cheers.
one. All right, bye.